Welcome home, Red Pack. Marcus here, and welcome to Comfort Cartoons, the show where I'm trying to collect absolutely everything from the late 90s, 2000s, all the way to the modern day. And I'm also trying to create the world's biggest Spongebob and Nickelodeon collection. But not just that, the creator and founder of this show happens to have her very own Nickelodeon collection. But I hope all of you beautiful people are having an amazing day. And if you guys aren't, you know the drill. Nickelodeon collections. Camera flip.
Put those down, my poor little thing.
It's about to get a whole lot brighter because your boy is here. Today is going to be so much fun because this is the first ever episode of Cartoon Crazy, which also can be shortened to CC, just like Comfort Cartoons. You see what we're trying to do there. So this will be Comfort Cartoons Crazy Collection, CCCC. But this is the first ever episode of a brand new series where I am going to be reacting to your guys' collection. So we're going to be going over some collections today of different people that collect the stuff that we love on this channel, which can be Nickelodeon, Disney, Cartoon Network, anything animated, and covering it and ranking it. And it is going to be so much fun. So all of these submissions that we're going to be going over today were sent in through Discord, people that are part of our Discord. If you guys have a collection and you guys want to share it, I'll have an email in the description if you guys want to submit your collection. I could not be more excited. No matter how much I love spending time checking out the cavern here and all the different stuff we collect, but it's going to be so fun getting to see a whole bunch of different collections from people in this very audience. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and dive on into this. So we're gonna be going through these based off of 3 categories. This is a non-judgment, only for fun series, so we're not putting these people up against each other. If you leave something in the comment, just let us know what you liked about certain collections, but it's in no way a competition. That's not what this is about, and it's all about the fun of collecting and the passion behind all the different things that we love. And we're gonna be ranking it on resourcefulness, because this whole series is not about how much money you spent or what you have access to. It's just about what you had and how you made it work and how efficiently you were able to display that stuff. 2, organization. That's something I probably will give myself a pretty low grade, and I could work on that. But we're gonna be ranking organization and how well organized their items are based off of whatever organizational system we can see, they have going. And creativity / overall look. No matter how big, no matter how small, just how it presents when you're first looking at it, just to kind of add a little bit of a fun vibe to it. And that'll be a part of creativity too. So 3 rankings, all for fun. I can't wait to check these out. Everybody's already a winner to me. Without any further ado, let's get into this first ever episode of Cartoon Crazy. Okay, so the first one we're starting off with is Bernardo Collects. And Bernardo I have seen around in this community for a long time. So huge shout out to Bernardo, an awesome young and upcoming collector. So let's take a look at his collection. We're gonna pop it up on screen here. Would you guys look at that? That is unbelievable, as I see him on the top left corner up there. But just unreal. First plushie that catches my eyes, it's awesome, is the Invisibubble plushie. I believe that's a pretty rare plushie. Like, I can't recall seeing a lot of the Invisibubble. It's always a hard word to say, Invisibubble plushies, but that's like the biggest standout one to me right there. I love it. Oh, and he's got the SpongeBob zombie and Brain Gary backpack up here in the top right. Me and Mitchell looked everywhere. We drove to like every Walmart in this area trying to find this backpack, but I'm happy to see somebody else secured one. That is a awesome backpack, Bernardo. Great job on finding that one. And then I can see you have the Cinnamon Toast Crunch right there, the Cinnamon Toast Crunch Squared. That's a product where Cinnamon Toast actually released a in protector, like holographic, high quality Cinnamon Toast Crunch box. But if you look closely, it looks like it's actually signed by Tom Kenny right there. So that is not what it came with retail. So he has a Cinnamon Toast Crunch right there. It says toys inside. And out front there, you actually can see he has some of the figures that you get in that same box. And that's an older, I'm pretty sure like 2010, 2011. That is an older SpongeBob promotion. He's got a couple of the figures out there that you would get inside of that very same box. I see you're a daring man, Bernardo. You're a daring man. Just like myself. I see sweet applesauce. You have pouches of this sweet applesauce. There's about 4 or 5 pouches I see there. Still a full case essentially of them on the right there. People give me a lot of flack for collecting food, and you know what? I love collecting food. It's one of the craziest, weirdest things to collect because most people won't do it, and it becomes rarer and rarer as most people, their stomachs can't handle it. You guys know, we have the SpongeBob snack pack at the top of the cavern here that Mitchell every day is worried he's gonna pop all over his head on the top there. But I've never seen the sweet applesauce in the package like that, and they are all still sealed. You're a brave man, Bernardo, and I'm glad somebody has those in their collection. That is sweet. And it looks like you have a full row of the Krabby Patty heart boxes too. But I think overall, an incredible shelf, Bernardo. So much love to you, Bernardo, and thank you for supporting the rep pack, and we appreciate you. And keep on collecting, man. But ranking for Bernardo, I'm gonna give him a 10 out of 10 for organization. Like I said, I love that everything big is right up top, and all the smaller stuff is a little lower so you can actually get a better look at it. And I don't think Bernardo's working with a huge, I mean, pardon me if I'm wrong, but I think Bernardo's working with a more tight space there. So for what he has in his space, that is really efficiently packed. You can really see just about everything. And as somebody who does this, it is really tough, you know, because a lot of stuff, they come in big boxes. So if you just put like 2 of them on your shelf, you're like, wow, that's the whole shelf. That took up everything. Resourcefulness, I'm gonna go ahead and give you a 10. I think for what space that you have, I mean, everything is really packed in there. And it doesn't even look bad. Like, I can see it being packed in there and just being like all over the place, but it's packed in very small iotas of space. But for what it is, it looks very like it has a flow to it. So I'm gonna give you a 10 out of 10 on resourcefulness. And for creativity / overall look, I'm gonna go ahead and give you an 8. I mean, I still think it's super solid. There is some items I wish I could just see a little bit more of, but I get it, man. There's only so many, things. That's why I have a vault where you have to just put stuff, you know, I have to put stuff to the side because of the fact that like I wish I could just see everything. So overall, you got a 10, a 9, and an 8. All of them high scores because it's just beautiful, but I feel like there's more to it on the right that I would love to see, and the left, but I think it looks beautiful, and huge shout out to you, Bernardo. Thank you so much for submitting in here. Okay, and then next up we have here from Stormxqu, a member of our Patreon as well. Thank you so much for the support, Quick. I'm gonna go ahead and take a look at it here. It looks like it's mostly Scooby-Doo, so we checked out one that was all SpongeBob. This one's Scooby-Doo. It is a little bit further out, so it's a little harder to see everything going on there entirely. But if I'm looking at it here, I can see on the top there, you have the Scooby-Doo mansion. We actually did a video opening that guy up too. One of the coolest Scooby-Doo products to ever come out. I see you have this really cool like Scooby-Doo like cardboard cutout or like painted display. I'm really not sure what that is, but it's cool. I love it. We have an LED light there of the mystery machine, and then we also have the Playmobil mystery machine too there. And then looking down here, you can see he is a fan and collector of Scooby-Doo media as well too, and trying to collect all the different Scooby-Doo DVDs. We're on this same quest together, Quick. I also am trying to collect as much Scooby-Doo media as I possibly can. It looks like you're trying to get every DVD there is, just period. For me, I'm just trying to get every single movie, and I'll get some of the episodes as a bonus here and there, but it seems like you're on the ultimate quest of trying to get all of the DVDs, which is I applaud you. And I'm already gonna give you a 10 for the organization, just because you have labels on your shelves for movies, TV shows, and then compilations on the top. That's next level. That's like double D status. Resourcefulness, I'm gonna go ahead and give you an 8. And I'm gonna give you an 8 for overall creativity and look. But what I think would be really cool is maybe a little bit of Scooby-Doo wall art, you know, over there on the right side, or maybe even right behind that shelf there. I think that would look awesome. Whether it be a poster, a little canvas, something like that. But I know some people, they just don't want to put holes in their walls, or they don't want to stick something under the wall. But I think that would be a nice little touch there. Okay, so the next one we're checking up here is from Cody. He's a member of the Ref Pack. He's over on Whatnot. He's here on YouTube all the time, so much love to Cody. Let's take a look at it here. And I know Cody has some bangers in his collection, so let's go ahead and dive into it. So first off, looking there, I see the Fairly Odd Parents bowling ball. That is a really cool one. I've wanted to collect those different Nickelodeon bowling balls they've released throughout the time too, but they're so heavy. I've been a little reluctant to get them because I'm so afraid of them rolling or falling onto something else. I'm sure Cody's probably fine. I live in Southern California where, you know, you never know when the earth is gonna shake. So, you know, everything is secured as much as we possibly can get it. A lot of people ask me about that, and I mean, within the realm of possibility, I think my collection is more secured than the average person who doesn't live in California, you know. So I wouldn't even want to risk putting a bowling ball. So also in that picture we have some tins. We have a SpongeBob cereal box. It looks like the box for a SpongeBob cereal right there. I wonder why that's not displayed a little bit more. So cool. I would love to see a better shot of it. It's such a classic item. We have some Nick Zone books there. So let's take a look at the next picture here. Ooh, okay, so I see you do have the SpongeBob cereal box. Maybe that's a sealed box, so that's why that one's like up front and on display. Oh, and we got the Mr. Krabs too from the episodic series. And what? What is that? You have the Ninja Turtles display. I remember, I don't know if Ryan could find the clip, but we went to Target so many times during the TMNT promotion going on, and they had that little bar display for TMNT where all the toys were. And I remember seeing that so many times and hoping somehow I could go home with that. And it's cool to see somebody did. Shout out to you, Cody. You have a pretty rare SpongeBob bobblehead right there. The Santa SpongeBob. I've seen that guy a couple times without his hat. He's got it with the hat on. Awesome. And, ooh, okay, Cody one-upped me. We have the Good Burger disc there. I kept my original sticker from the Good Burger 2 meal that they released, along with my receipt from the first ever restaurant that they filmed at, and I put it inside the box. Cody kept the whole aluminum foil. Now that, I didn't even think of that. Huge respect. That is awesome. He's got the whole foil right there from that meal. So for resourcefulness, I'm gonna go ahead and give Cody a 10. I'm pretty sure Cody's working in a smaller space there. So the fact that he was able to cover everything, I think usually what I'm gonna do is like, for me, resourcefulness is like how well you utilize the space that you have. It doesn't mean it has to be like filled up to the brim. Like for example, we had Storm's collection who looked really sleek and just like efficient. But it also looks super clean too. But I'm also gonna give you a 10 when it's filled up and there's no wasted space. So that's like its own degree of cool. But when you have a big collection and it's also taking up as much as you possibly can to really get all the real estate covered, I gotta give you a 10 on that. It looks really, really cool. For the organization, it does look like you have some kind of a system there. I'm gonna go ahead and give that an 8. I would love to see maybe some risers. It does look very mixed with a lot of small and big items kind of categorized everywhere. I would love to see maybe some of these smaller items come down and a lot of the bigger items go up, but overall it's still beautiful. And any suggestion I make, it's not going to be something that like is going to cost you anything. It's also just my opinion, but overall still incredible. And you have some bangers in there, Cody. Next up we have Hayden, and oh my gosh, that is a lot of sponge. That's incredible. I dare you try to find a piece of his wall. You can't do it. You can't do it. He has used every inch. I applaud you, Hayden. So Hayden also is a young collector as well too in this community. Been around for a long time. I've gotten to talk to Hayden as well. So huge shout out to you, Hayden. Oh, brilliant job there. There is some unbelievable bangers in here, Hayden. What the heck? We have up here in the top left, I see the SpongeBob Bob-Le-Punge SpongeBob plushie with the mustache. The Now That We're Men mustache. That is an unreal find there. I see some of the SpongeBob fruit snacks there. Surely some items I haven't even seen before. One item right here, the SpongeBob fruit snacks. That is a grail. Like, I have not seen that SpongeBob fruit snacks box before out in the wild. That is an awesome, awesome pickup. I don't know if it's sealed or if it's open. Either way, that's a really cool one there. You also have the Cinnamon Toast Crunch signed by Tom Kenny. And I believe that Hayden and also Bernardo, who we checked out earlier, are really close friends. So I think they might have gotten it signed around the same time, if not at the same time. So huge shout out to both of them. I also see the SpongeBob movie Rice Krispie treats. We all know about these SpongeBob Rice Krispie treats, but you can see peeking out here, he has a box of the SpongeBob Rice Krispies as well. Oh my goodness, that's some old SpongeBob Go-Gurts over there too on the right. I don't know if the Go-Gurts are still in there, but that's an old display of the SpongeBob Go-Gurts. I think that's maybe, if I'm looking at the art style, I'm assuming maybe 2008 to 2012. An incredible pickup there. Okay, I'm finishing up here with like the coolest items. I would say I really love the Paramount Plus sign, because like I've seen that Paramount Plus sign, I think at Walmart maybe, and I had never really thought like, oh yeah, that kind of would work in a SpongeBob or Nickelodeon collection. But you have one, and now that I see it next to it, I'm like, yeah, that kind of makes a lot of sense. Of course, you know, SpongeBob is accessible exclusively through Paramount Plus. I think they have some episodes on like Amazon Prime or something, but mostly Paramount Plus. So that's a really cool and like creative display in that way. Like the thought process in that I like. So I'm gonna say overall, let's rank this guy. I'm gonna go ahead and give you 10 for resourcefulness, because we're not ranking these on based off of what the person has, because he has some awesome stuff off there. But I'm gonna go ahead and say for resourcefulness, I'm gonna give you a 10. I think for the space that you have, there is not a missed beat. And I think, you know, being a young guy, trying to fill in as much as you can in the space that you have, you've done it. I mean, like, I couldn't even tell you how to, like, better fit more stuff in there. For organization, I'm gonna go ahead and give you an 8 on organization. I think that it's an incredible job. I love it all the way around. But I do think you have some serious grails that are kind of being, like, you know, a little bit hidden comparatively to some other stuff. And for overall look / creativity, I'm gonna go ahead and give you a 9 as well. Visually, it's hard to go wrong because you collect a specific thing. Like the last couple of people we've been going through here, because it's specifically SpongeBob, it's hard to really go wrong with the organization because it's all there. Whereas if you collect, you know, maybe a mixture of stuff, it can be a little bit harder to have something that still makes sense and works. But since it's all SpongeBob, it works great. Okay, so next up we have it's RPG, aka Real Princess G. She is a member of the Patreon, but also part of our Whatnot streams as well. So huge shout out to you, RPG. She has a very lovely collection coming along here. You guys can see, I mean, honestly, maybe I'm a little biased, but I think it's one of the coolest collections because it's a rep pack collection. So everything that you guys are seeing in this picture is all stuff that she got from our live streams over on Whatnot, whether she picked it up or it came for free with her package. Every order that we do on Whatnot, we're always throwing in extra stuff, whether they be doubles of stuff we get in the collection, when we go to the thrift videos, or we go on hunts and we end up with extra stuff. We always drop those into packages, so you guys can see a bunch of different stuff like that, along with some stuff that she picked up, and a little stack of drawings, because many of the packages that I send out, they came with little personal drawings in them and stuff like that. As my workload has gotten increasingly more, I don't do them as often, but if you request something like that, I can still try to do them here and there, and I do them for Patreon all the time. You can see she has a solid stack of a bunch of them adding up right there, so I think that is so awesome, and it shows her support too. Much love to RPG. You can see she has in his neck picture here some of her We Bare Bears, and also a picture. Look, let's zoom in. That's me. Look, I'm doing something like this, like something like that. I love it. An amazing collection there with a big mixture of different stuff as well too. She's some Funko Pop signed as well. So for the resourcefulness, I'm gonna go ahead and give her a 9 for the resourcefulness. Incredible job, very resourceful. For the organization, I'm gonna go ahead and give her an 8. It is solid. And for the overall creativity / look, I might be a little biased, but I'm gonna give it a 10. I'm gonna give that a 10 out of 10. Amazing. It's a rep pack shelf, so to me, looks wise, it's a 10. Okay, the next up here we have one of the most well put together collections I have ever seen, and that is coming from Dawn and T-Dog. You guys know Dawn and T-Dog very well, aka Dawn the Whale. They're an amazing, awesome family here in the rep pack. They've sent countless different items that we have here in the cavern, and I'm sure many of you guys know them, but them themselves, of course, being the fan mail and also research legends, have an incredible collection. Truly just unbelievable. So let's go ahead and take a look here. They sent a lot of pictures because there's so many different layers to their collection. We're gonna try to go through as many as we can, but I could sit here and talk about this collection all day long. So we're gonna try to keep it around the same time as the rest of them. Let's go ahead and take a look here though at a few pictures. Okay, so unbiasedly at all, we're gonna start with the Reptar shelf, which is beautiful. You guys can see they have so many different Rugrats items. See some bobbleheads in there. You have the golden Rugrats in there. There's so much stuff that it's really even almost kind of hard to see from the distance. But you can see they have the 1000 Voyages Cynthia over here on the top left, the new Bindum Cynthia, and then working our way down there, it's kind of like a very Chucky themed shelf. I love that. You got the Chucky's Applause Cups, the Tommy one, and then as we talked about with Cody's collection, they have an actual bowling ball. They have the Rugrats bowling ball, and you know it's a little bit later in the Rugrats because it has Kimmy and also Dill on it. They have the Tommy and Chucky walkie-talkies. That is an item I don't have in the collection yet, but I had in my childhood. I never remember what happened to the Tommy walkie-talkie, but I always had the Chucky walkie-talkie in my life that I can remember, but I have no clue what happened to the Tommy one. Okay, now working our way up to the main, the creme de la creme. We have the Reptar shelf. The Reptar shelf right here, and you guys can see Dawn and T-Dog have been members of our Patreon since the beginning, so much love to their family for supporting what we do here. You guys can see they have the huge, absolutely monstrous Culturefly Reptar there, as well as a bunch of other Reptar items. I love the awesome Reptar backdrop there. I don't know if that's a canvas, a poster, but whatever it is, I love the backdrop. Now let's working our way into like a center collection here. There is some really cool stuff on this one, some unbelievable stuff. First thing I'm gonna note is this Nicktoons Network chair. What in the world? That has to be like a set used Nicktoons Network chair. That is beautiful. On the top there, they have a whole Nickelodeon shelf of the various different Nickelodeon blaster products. So they were called like, most of them were called Blast. It's like a weird line of Nickelodeon products they did where they were kind of like, almost like Nick Tech. It was like typical household electronics, but if Nickelodeon designed it. So you can see the radio right there. Kind of looks like something you could see in the background of the set of the Amanda Show. The walkie-talkies have a Nickelodeon vibe. My personal favorite of all of them is the Nickelodeon phone right there, where you have the little slime signal indicator in the back. That is cool. Okay, they have so much stuff to check out, so I'm just gonna try to cover as much as I can, but keeping it moving here. We also have this awesome Jimmy Neutron tin, and I believe it may be a popcorn bucket or possibly a trash can of some kind. Really cool display piece there. And then a bunch of other awesome stuff there that you guys can see. Okay, now this picture I'm picking because Don, aka Don the Whale, he is a huge Rocket Power fan. And I love that so much. Rocket Power is an amazing show and it's super slept on, honestly. And being from Southern California, I always connected to Rocket Power really closely. But what I love on it is you can see he has Twister and also Reggie's helmet. So they did release helmets for the different members of Rocket Power, but they are unbelievably rare. Like one of the rarest items, I feel like, when it comes to Rocket Power stuff at least. So the thing about the helmets is that for like helmets for bikes, skateboarding, any of those things, for a long time, eBay wouldn't allow you to list helmets as used. So if you had a helmet for Rocket Power, a lot of times people wouldn't, like, they would get to the, you know, maybe putting it on eBay or putting it online, get to that first wall, it's like, oh, well, I can't put it as used, but it's not new, so then they would just junk it, you know? I don't know if that restriction still maintains, but for a while that was a rule that led to it being even harder to actually get in your collection. But that's just the Rocket Power shelf. Over here, briefly checking it all out, we have the NFT Funko Pops here. My favorite one is the Freddy Funko is Reptar. That's just so cool. You've got a little bit of a green label shelf here, a really cool bowling pin, one of the SpongeBob bowling balls, and I'm noticing on the SpongeBob one, they have like some kind of specialized holder for the bowling ball, and like that's kind of sick. Like if I had a specialized holder for it, you know what, I'd be a little less fearful of holding. I mean, they're still really heavy, but the holder makes me a little less scared of it. I love that. And then down the bottom there, you have an awesome item. That is the SpongeBob mini fridge, which is beautiful. And then scrolling down here, if you can see the SpongeBob Funko Pop collection they got going on there too. Just some amazingly put together collection. You have a little Hey Arnold section right here, a little bit of a live action game show shelf on the bottom down there, a huge wall of Ren and Stimpy collectibles. And I think if I have to say my favorite thing on this particular section though, it's gotta be the snow globes, but I really like the idea of the Hey Arnold football head to football. That is like the most obvious and like apparent item to have ever been created, and I don't know why I never thought of it. It's like, it's amazing because it's like, it's a football of course, but it's also like Arnold's face, and then the rest of the ball is like skin colored. It's like when you get that Crayola crown and you're like, oh, it says flesh or it says flesh colored or skin colored. Like, well, not in my case, but it's like literally skin colored the rest of the ball. I think that's beautiful. You can see some Monopolies, it looks like they're in the background too. And then we have some of the animation preview magazines up there too. I love the one with all the characters coming out of the Nickelodeon studios. And then there's Daffy Duck just kind of hanging out here. I like that. Okay, I mean there's so many things to cover. I could literally talk about this collection all day. An immaculate, incredible job. That's like, you know, all of your guys' collections, like I could hang out in these all day long, like without zero issues and have things to do for a lifetime. That is beautiful. So like I said, we could do a part 2 of some of the other stuff they've got in their collection in the second episode. If you guys want to see that second episode, but we're gonna check out some other collections here. But I do want to show off their son's collection as well. They have an awesome Mickey Mouse collection for him, and I think that's so cool. And I also just want to say, you know, when he grows up, he could be like, oh yeah, you know, your room was on YouTube. Here's your collection, future baby Don. And you got awesome parrots, and they've always been awesome. You may think they're awesome now, but they've always been awesome. Okay, without any further ado, let's check out the next collection, but let's go ahead and give them a ranking. So I'm gonna give them resourcefulness, a 10 out of 10. I'm gonna give them organization, a 10 out of 10. And creativity, a 10 out of 10. I really don't have anything I could add or say to change. It's incredible. It's beautiful. There's nothing I would change about it. I have very loose, if anything, of constructive criticism for any of these, but there's nothing to add. Just truly amazing. So the next collection we're checking out was sent in by Pokey IV, and his collection is the definition of cozy. It's like a bunker, like a wooden cabin bunker that you can just hang in all day. I don't know if I've ever told you guys this, but I'm a big fan of like wood. Some people are here or there about it, but I love just like if I could have a whole wooden house, wooden floors, wooden walls, wooden roof, I would do it. I think it looks so cool and it just looks so like nice. It just looks so comforting. I love the fact that like all of his walls are wooden there, and even the shelves kind of still continue on with that wooden color, and it gives me a nostalgic vibe. Like, you know, it's very modern now to have like the IKEA like black, or you know, I have a lot of the black in here too, and these shelves were like white or black, and some of them were black and they were way harder to paint, and some of them were white and were a little easier. Even this, the colors are very modern, but like seeing wood and like a wooden shelf, it gives me like, you know, 90s your bedroom kind of warmth to it with the shelves. So I love that look. You can see he's got a lot going on in there. I love that he has all of the meme statues over here, and I noticed that the Spongebob with the rainbow hands for the meme figure, the rainbow is down, and I totally get it, Pokey IV. I totally, that thing, it doesn't stay on. That rainbow does not stay on. It's not an option. Mine actually has a piece of double-sided tape on his forehead, so that way the rainbow will stay on his forehead, and then the other piece will stay at his arm, and that's the only way I figured out how to get it to work. But after like a period of a year, it eventually popped off of that even and still fell. So, you know, the rainbow, I get it on the rainbow. He's hard to get to work. See, but all the meme ones look fantastic up there. It looks like if you look behind the memes, if you look behind the memes, there's a Doodlebop peeking out there. And this is actually on Twitter, his name is Perfectly Paws SpongeBob Frames, and we actually went to Patch the Pirate's house in a video, and I actually got that idea from a picture that he had actually posted on Twitter of him going to the location. I was like, wow, that's like right by us. Why don't we just go there and then do a hunt? So I've known of him for a while now, so it's cool to see his collection. Ooh, I think my favorite item's gotta be this giant Gary. That is a really beautiful Gary. I can't remember who, I wanna say Mattel, but they released this like life-size Gary that is like super rare, not easy to find at all, but you can see that guy down there, really cool piece. Oh, and then what? Where did you even get this? He has this box right here, this storage box. I think it has to be like something from Etsy or maybe like a homemade thing, but he has this box here for Old Reliable. He has SpongeBob's jellyfishing net container. Where did you pick this up? That is incredible. And we have a signature right here too from your #1 fan, SpongeBob, aka Tom Kenny. So he has a SpongeBob costume right here, signed by Tom Kenny. And then next to that, you can see a bunch of different plushies he's got right here as well too, including one of one right next to Mr. Krabs, which I can only assume is maybe him, unless that's I don't know, like an incidental in SpongeBob I just never noticed. But there's him. I think that's him. I don't know. It's great. It's great. And he is stocked up on the SpongeBob mac and cheese. You can see 6 boxes right here. I see another 2 boxes over here, and then another 3 boxes with 2 boxes below that, presumably another box below that, and then another box in front of that. And then look at this right corner, there's another box right here. And there's a 4-pack down there. My man's got the mac and cheese. He got all of it. Ooh, and a nice item I see right here is the Nickelodeon movie theater. That's a pretty rare item. I don't know if it has all of the film reels in it, but that that book is relatively rare. There's a couple Nickelodeon books that are really rare, and they're usually the ones that come with the toy because, you know, books by themselves are like, you know, I guess so cool. Like, I love collecting the books. It's one of my favorite things to collect, but I noticed the ones that are kind of like rare and more like hard to find are usually the ones that have some kind of additional piece, whether it be a guitar, a little flute, or something that attaches to the book. You know, because when you were a kid and you went to Scholastics, let's be real, you were looking for the books that came with a toy with it. You weren't looking for the mysteries A through Z, or you were looking for Garfield book that came with a plush cat. So that carried on into adulthood, and those have become the more collectible. All right, incredible job there, Pokey IV. I'm gonna go ahead and give you a 10 for resourcefulness. You're definitely maximizing your space there. It looks super cozy in there. Organization, I'm gonna go ahead and give you an 8 on organization. I think some stuff could definitely probably come together, but that's just, you know, perspective based. Like, I think it would be cool to kind of put all your food stuff together. Like, you kind of have your memes and the plushies together, but, you know, what do I know? You do what you like. That's what it's about. But I think that would give you, on my pointless grading scale, higher rankings. I'm gonna go give you 8 for that. And creativity and overall look, I'm gonna go ahead and give you a 9 on that guy right there too. I mean, it's really, really unique. Got a super cozy vibe in there too. Just overall solid. And I tried to cover as much as I possibly can, guys. That is actually it for this video. If you guys want to submit your collection, again, that email will be down below. All the collections are amazing. I don't want you guys to let me know who is your favorite or which one you thought was better. At the end of the day, this entire series is just about the passion. It doesn't matter how big, how small your collection is. The fact that you're collecting and you love what you love. You can have a room 6 times as big as the cavern, or you could have a little locker-sized space with a Spongebob or Nickelodeon collection and love it just as much as that person. The passion for the things that you love is not measured by how many things you have, and that's what I want the core to be this series, is just enjoying it for what it is. And if you notice this whole ranking system, like, nobody got less than an 8. It's just for fun. It's just to kind of, you know, give a little bit of an aspect to it. But really, everything is a higher ranking when it's just the fact that you're collecting something that you enjoy, and that's a beautiful thing that should only be given a B+ or higher. You know, so you're never gonna see me break down or belittle any collection. So if you want to submit it, that'll be down below. And I know this audience very well, and everybody's gonna be super supportive as well too. So make sure you guys show love to everybody in the comments down below. This video probably is way shorter than what it was going to be because I talked so much in this video. So if you guys aren't already, you guys go check out the Patreon. You can sign up for only $2 a month now. The Patreon has extended versions of all the videos I do over here. So if you like hearing me rant and ramble about different stuff that relates to cartoons, you can go check out that. And there's probably this video, I assure you, is gonna have a very long extended version because for YouTube's promotional sakes, we have to take some stuff out because I talk a lot. So go check that out if you guys haven't already. Huge shout out to the big Patreons of the month in the Rep Pack royalty. Shout out to Taz Watsky. Shout out to Stormxqu. Shout out to List of Legends. Shout out to Prismatic Phantom, Yanis Torres, It's Big Little, Kevin Nguyen, Later, A Castle, Real Queen G, Gabriella, and also Don the Whale. Thank you guys so much for making everything that we do here possible. We appreciate you guys and have so much love for everything you guys do. If you guys aren't already following us over on Whatnot, go check that out as well. Several of these collections you saw here today, they picked up some of those items over on Whatnot. We always have some different stuff over there. Whenever we get duplicates in the collection, we put them over there for almost always lower than market price, or we just give them away. So go check that out as well too, and it helps out the channel as well too. You get 15 bucks for free just for signing up. And if you haven't already, you know, to support the Rep Pack, there's also the Green Label merch to support the greatest era in Spongebob merchandise. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. I appreciate you guys. I love you guys so much, and thank you for everything you guys do. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I can't say it. Show some support to your fellow Rep Pack in the comments down below. If you guys want to see a part 2 to this series, part 3, or just make this an ongoing series, you let me know. But as always, Rep Pack, I'll see you beautiful people in this video over here and in the next video. Adios and bloop!